And good afternoon and welcome to the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia, New Mexico. It is time for the 5A quarterfinals. Two teams that know each other very well, the Lovington Wildcats and the Artesia Bulldogs. Alongside Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle. Thanks for being with us on a breezy Saturday afternoon, getting ready for the start of this one. The Wildcats coming in at the number 7 seed, and it's 7-4 on the year. Of course, last week getting a big victory against another district opponent in the Goddard Rockets to punch their ticket back here to the Bulldog Bowl to take on the 7-3 Artesia Bulldogs. But the Bulldogs are the number 2 seed as they are getting ready to do the national anthem. We will take a timeout. Wildcat football continues in a moment. And welcome back to your Stone Oilfield Services pregame show right here at the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia, getting ready for the start of this 5A quarterfinal game. Thanks for being with us, Stone Oilfield Services, of course, your pregame sponsor. Mr. Stone and the whole family, proud supporters of all Lee County athletics. So a breezy one down there looks like today, Dawn.
Yes, it is. It is. It's breezy at best and windy at times. So, yeah, it's definitely, it could definitely have a factor. But it's at least the sun is shining. It's a very warm day. And, so we can be thankful for some things. But, yeah, the wind is definitely something to contend with today.
We're going to be looking at around 78 degrees. The wind is blowing out of the southwest. So it's kind of towards that south end zone and out a little bit here at Mack Chase Field at the Bulldog Bowl. So if you're the Lovington Wildcats in this one, you've got to basically not pay attention to whatever happened back in the regular season and come out. And it's going to be a game today, Dawn, where I'm thinking while they may not have to play perfect, they're going to have to play almost mistake-free.
They are. We talked about this before the game, about the fact that, yes, they're going to have to play the game of their season and the game of their lives. And they certainly had several really great games, in this season, in winning efforts and in losing ones as well. And they're going to have to take all of those lessons, all of that, play up to every bit of potential that they have in every area, offense, defense, special teams, and put together really just a near-perfect game. We know from experience that Artesia doesn't make a lot of mistakes. They're a strong team and a good team. Lovington, of course, faltering against them earlier in the season. That's your what you meant about have a short memory in terms of the outcome of that game. Have a long memory in terms of what do you want? How did you start this season? What were your goals? And you got little side railed, and you can look at that Artesia game and say, that was a place where things started to change a little bit. Lovington brought it back. They're here, and they are. They're going to have to play the game of their season today.
Well, you're absolutely right. Of course, last week the Wildcats had, I'm not going to say just an easy go of it against the Goddard Rockets, because at times Goddard was extremely competitive in that game. They really got it done on the ground. 362 rushing yards last week for the Wildcats. I seriously doubt we're going to see that today against the Bulldogs, but they do need to establish and make a good, credible run. Now, one thing they definitely need to change from last week, 16 penalties for 160 yards last week. Whether those were deserved or earned or not, they definitely have to clean that up. You cannot extend drives, keep drives alive, and let them continue to just move the ball up and down the field. You've got to make sure that you are not shooting yourself in the foot. It comes back to making mistakes. Lovington last week won the playoff battle, five turnovers forced on Goddard. They only had one themselves. And every single game, the 7 games that Lovington has won this season, the 7 that they've won that turnover battle. But a hard fight and a hard battle against an Artesia team that really does a pretty good job holding on to the football.
Yes, and you can't give Artesia anything because they're going to take plenty for themselves.
Well, you are absolutely right on that. As the Wildcats are out on the field, they are in the road white unis, the all-white uniforms with the blue letters and numbers. Of course, the white helmets with cats in script on the side. Artesia waiting to come out and do their usual dog pile as we get ready to start this one. They are in the home black unis with orange letters and numbers and the orange helmets with dogs on the side. Winner of this game will move on to the semifinals 1 week from today against the winner of Mayfield and Deming. That game going on right now as well. A triple header today across our family of streams and stations. Of course, we're here in Artesia for the 5A quarterfinals. The Hobbs Eagles playing right now against La Cueva up in Albuquerque on our sister station, Cool 95.7, and on the Eunice Sports YouTube channel and HobbsAmerica.com. The Eunice Cardinals right now taking on the Tularosa Wildcats. So a whole lot of football for you today, but I think we have got the premier one with the Cats and the Dogs from here in Artesia. We'll take a 90-second timeout, come back and kick this one off. This has been your Stone Oilfield Services pregame show from Stone Oilfield Services. We're back for Wildcat football. The playoffs are here in 90 seconds on Z94 KZOR Hobbs Lovington, the Z94 KZOR Hobbs app, and on HobbsAmerica.com. And welcome back to Lovington Wildcat Playoff Football here on Z94 KZOR, the Z94 KZOR app, and on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. With Don Morgan Fieldside, I'm TJ Miracle. Thanks for being with us on a windy afternoon. 78 degrees at kickoff. Winds blowing out of the southwest, gusting up to weather game that we see no matter who wins this one. So just looking forward to what should be a good game. The Cats elected to, or the Cats will get the opening kickoff, and they will start the game on offense, and I think that's a good thing, and they will have the wind here in the first quarter. So, Dawn, final thoughts as we get ready to kick off this quarterfinal matchup between the Cats and the Dogs.
Just to reiterate everything that we've said about it has to be game on. These guys have got to be serious, focused, completely intense from the first, from now till the final whistle blows, no matter what's going on the scoreboard. And no mistakes, few penalties. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get this one started off, kicked off, and ready to move here on a beautiful Saturday. Kicking it off will be Aiden Huffman. He will kick it away towards the south end zone, and here we go, as it will be a short one. It is tailing off and out, and so Lovington will have the option of making them re-kick on a 5-yard kickoff out of bound penalty, or taking it up at the 30-yard line. I think Lovington will probably elect to take it at the 30, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do, or at the 35, pardon me. So I think that is the right move. So take the football, and here we go. Wildcats are on offense to start this game from the 35, from the far hash mark. Cats moving from the right to the left from my perspective, left to right from Dawn's perspective.
And, I could have reached up. If I had stayed put, I could have reached up and caught that ball. I was standing right here at the 30-yard marker, right out of bounds.
Could have called for the fair catch, I guess.
Could have.
Matthew Prudencio from the shotgun. Good snap. He will swing it out to Kyler Reeves on the wide receiver screen, but nothing doing. He's actually going to lose a yard as he got knifed down almost immediately by Bryce Parra.
No.
So it's a completed pass, but it's a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
And the guy who actually reached out and got him and caused him to stumble forward and fall was number 33, Eddie Villa.
So on a 2nd down and 11, I like getting it out of the hands quick.
Yeah, good thought. Just need to improve execution.
So on a 2nd down and 11, Prudencio from the shotgun. He will hand it off. Cardenas with a little room, shakes and bakes across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Some good blocks up front. It'll be a pickup of 7 for Dallas, and that'll make it a manageable 3rd down and about 4.
I like that as well. It happened very quickly. Lovington getting rid of the football, getting it out of the hand very quickly so that the play can develop faster, because Artesia is quick off the line. They're big guys, but they're quick.
Cameron Ochoa will check in as Kyler Reeves head to the sideline. Also checking out Alec Olguin. So it'll be a 3rd down and about 4 to go for the Wildcats from the 42-yard line. Split backs in the backfield. Good snap. Hand it to Ochoa. Starts right. Has a seam. Crosses the 45 and out to the 47-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 6 for Cam and move the chains. 1st down, Wildcats.
Nice. And that was despite the best efforts of number 20 there, who actually stopped his forward progress, Caleb Murray.
So move the chains. 1st down for the Wildcats. 90 seconds into this first quarter. Winner moves on to next week. The loser gets ready for basketball season.
And actually, I think that was number 23. I can't tell if the 0 is.
Twins right, single to the left. Split backs in the backfield. Handed off to Ochoa. Goes right side. Cuts it back up the middle. Has some room into Bulldog territory. Crosses the 40 and down across the 45 in Bulldog territory to the 43. And that ought to be enough to move the chains. 1st down, Wildcats. Great blocking up front for the Wildcat O-line. And that will be 10 yards exactly. Move the chains, Lovington.
Exactly what they need to do. Just take care of business. Move the chains. Move the chains. Go forward. It would be huge for Lovington to get first on the board in this game.
So on a 1st down and 10 inside Bulldog territory from the Artesia 43-yard line. Wildcats on the march, their opening possession of the ball game. The number 2 versus the number 7 matchup. Twins to the left, single receiver to the right, split backs in the backfield, hand it off. That is to Cardenas, and he's going to be up around the 40. Ran right into one of the Bulldogs, and one of the Wildcats is down. Don't want to see that. That's Alex Rivera. He's down, and he is not feeling too good. It'll be a pickup of 3 for Dallas, and we have an injury timeout on the field. So you certainly need Alex up and moving if he can. He is a big part of that offensive line. So with the injury timeout, we'll take it with them. We're back in 30 seconds. Wildcat playoff football continues in a moment. Back here at the Bulldog Bowl is Alex Rivera being helped off of the field. Looks like he's being a little bit ginger on one of those legs, so you certainly hope that he's okay and then get him taped up and he can come back. That would be a huge loss on the line, and it could actually change the way you have to do some of your scheming on this. But you hope that he's all right and will be back. So it'll be a 2nd down and 8 for the Wildcats after the 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain by Cardenas, just shy of the 40. So on 2nd down and 7, split twins right, single receiver to the left, split backs in the backfield. Hard count, Artesia jumps but does not break the plane. So Prudencio going to look over and change the play at the line. Under 9 minutes to go, first quarter. Lovington on their opening possession. High snap handles it on the sweep. Coming near side with Cardenas, looking for some room. Crosses the 40 to the 39-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4 there for Dallas. A long developing play, but he just took what he could get there, Dawn, before he was knifed down by Miguel Soto.
Definitely looked like our Artesia offense was ready. They didn't know if he would give it to Cardenas or to Ochoa. And so that helped buy them maybe a half a second or a second to be able to get what yardage they could.
So they're going to spot him at the 39-yard line. They need to get it up to the 33, so it'll be 3rd down and 6. Important 3rd down here for the Wildcats. Twins left, twins to the right. Send a man in motion from the right to the left. High snap. They will throw it to the motion man. That's Gutierrez, as a good play by Artesia. You got to give credit where credit is due, and Miguel Soto stayed right there as the pass was complete to Gutierrez. Looked like he had some room, and Soto just blew through his blocker and took out Gutierrez. It'll be a pickup of about 3 for the Wildcats.
I can't help but wonder if without Rivera on the line that we can adjust enough there to blow that play. I don't know.
It lets Soto get over, and so now decision time for Coach Bailey on 4th down and a long 3, short 4. And no question at all, they're going to go for it. So an important 4th down play, 4th down and 4 for the Wildcats. Twins left, twins to the right, 3 men across the front for Artesia. High snap, Prudencio back, throws it across the middle, complete across the 30 to the 29-yard line. On the crossing route, they find number 14, Gutierrez. He'll be across the 29. It'll be a pickup of 6 and move the chains. 1st down, Lovington.
Ooh, and that's great execution, exactly when you had to have it. I mean, it was that play or get stalled and have to turn the ball over. So good job for Lovington, but now they've got to take this momentum and keep moving forward. This drive has got to end up in the end zone.
Yes, it does. From the 29-yard line inside Artesia territory. 6:55 to go here in the first. Twins to the right, single receiver to the left. Prudencio from the shotgun, high snap, hand it to Cardenas, goes right, not a lot of room to go there. He drags a couple of Bulldogs with him over the right tackle and will be out to the 26-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 3 for Dallas, and 2nd down and 7. Hard running inside in the trenches.
You bet. Hard slogging, very physical, very physical. You have to be fearless to be able to do that and to even try that, because you're going to get hit, you're going to get hard, you're going to get swarmed. It's you got to be tough.
Spot the ball at the 27, so a 2-yard gain officially. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Cats. Twins right, single receiver to the left. 3 receiver set, fake the handoff, Prudencio over the middle and incomplete, as it was off of the hands of Alec Olguin. Right there on coverage was Charlie Campbell, who hit him clean. It'll be incomplete, and so now it'll be 3rd down and 8 for Lovington.
And that was about one of the hardest thrown passes that I've seen Prudencio throw, and he is capable of bullets, but that was definitely, he got it out of his hands in half a second, and Alec was there. It was just too hot to hold on to, especially Alec knew footsteps right behind him.
So now it'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Wildcats. We are right at the halfway mark of this first quarter of play. No score. Lovington on their opening drive of the ball game. Opening drive either team. Twins left, Twins right. Cardenas on the right shoulder. And they'll throw it quickly to Olguin and in and out of his hands. They're going to say he caught it, and then he pops on it. Nope, they're going to say incomplete. I thought he had possession. They're going to say nope. He got it on the hop, but it'll be incomplete. Now it'll be 4th and 8 for Lovington. I like the quick hits and the quick passes, though. You've got to hang on to them.
Yeah, and if that last conversion was do or die, we got another.
Yep,
they're talking.
They're going to go for it, and I think that's the right move. Deep in Bulldog territory, even though you've got the wind with you. Not sure you want to take the chance with a battered line now with no
Rivera.
With no Rivera on getting the kicking game out there with Aranda, so they'll go for it. Send a single receiver to the left, and a whistle sounds, and timeout going to be taken by Coach Bailey. 6:02 to go in the first quarter. 4th and 8 for the Wildcats. They'll take the timeout. We'll take them with them. We're back in 60 seconds on KZOR. Out of the Wildcat timeout, Lovington facing a 4th down and 8, but deep in Artesia territory, opening drive of the ball game. Do or die for the Cats early. Twins left, Twins to the right. 3 across the front. Roll out to the right side. Prudencio steps, fires, has a man, and it'll be complete to Cardenas across the 15 to the 14-yard line. 13 yards to Dallas Cardenas and move the chains. First down, Lovington.
I tell you what, he had a fight on his hands to get up and get that because the coverage on him was ferocious. And when they went down together to the turf, Artesia, the defender, had his hands on the ball too. They laid there on the ground, both clutching the ball. Artesia was trying to take it away until the very last second.
4th first down on the drive for the Wildcats. They are inside the Artesia red zone. They've converted on 2 4th downs on this drive, and that keeps it alive. So now 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line on a breezy Saturday afternoon. Lovington has gotten it done on the ground and on the air. A very balanced first drive of the ball game. Put 2 tight ends on the right side this time. Twins to the left. Send a man in motion from the right to the left. That's Sanchez. Hand it to Cardenas. Tries right side. Has some room across the 10. Across the 5. And he will have enough for the first down. 1st and goal. Wildcats 10 yards for Cardenas.
Nice.
And wow, they're going to say his knee went down at the 9. I don't know how he got even that. He put his arm down after he got tripped up.
I don't know. They haven't moved it. The ball is sitting with the nose on the 5, and they haven't moved it off yet.
It'll be 2nd down and 1. No, 2nd and 1 for the Wildcats. Big run there for Cardenas. 5 runs, 26 yards on this opening drive. But again, good job by the big boys up front to open the hole.
Now Lovington's just got to punch it in.
2nd and 1 from the 5, and Cardenas with it again, and he's going to be inside the 3 down to about the 2-yard line. 3 yards for Dallas, and that'll move the chains. First down, Lovington, their 5th first down, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 2. So the Wildcats continue to move the ball down the field. A couple of big 4th down plays have kept this one going and kept it moving.
Taking a pretty good amount of time off the clock to do it.
Yes, they are, and that's a good thing, too. Control the pace of the ball game. 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Lovington on an 8-minute drive. 1st and goal from the 2. Prudencio waits on it, hands it off. Ochoa puts the hat down, the shoulders down, and is driven backwards. And might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that as Cam went right into the teeth of the defense. So no gain on the play officially for Ochoa, and it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2. You've had pretty good luck running over your outside lineman. I think maybe you think about something like that here.
Yeah, going outside instead of up the gut.
Ochoa on the left shoulder of Prudencio. High snap, fake it. Matthew keeps it himself. Little stutter step at the line. Is going to be dragged down and run sideways at the 1 yard line. It'll be a pickup of 1. So 3rd and goal from the 1. It was Grant Johnson who hit him and eventually brought him down and waited for the reinforcements to drag him sideways. So now 3rd and goal from the 1.
Not a bad call if they weren't expecting, a quarterback keeper, a sneak across the goal line. Just couldn't quite break the play. I think he came within, in true airspace, he came probably within a 1/3 of a yard before he stood back up and stopped.
So Cardenas will check out, Cam Ochoa back in. Split trips to the right side, twins to the left, empty set in the backfield for Prudencio. Matthew now going to go up under center, do the quick count, and he will just push in, go over the right side, and waiting on it. Artesia says they didn't get it. Lovington says they did. I think they did. And yes, they did. Put 6 on the board. Touchdown, Wildcats. Matthew Prudencio from 1 yard out cashes it in. And Lovington will take the early 6-0 lead with the point after to come. But here's the more important thing, Dawn. That was a 9.5-minute drive.
Yes, amazing. There's what we just talked about. And I brought up the fact that took a lot of time off the clock. Yes, in fact. And you mentioned control the game, control the pace of the game, and control the time that you possess, and you got a better shot.
Caleb Aranda on for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is through the uprights. Good. 2.5 minutes to go in the first. Lovington 7, Artesia nothing. Wildcat playoff football continues in 1 minute on Z94 KZOR.
Just double check on which lineman went out injured, if you would.
I think it was 59.
It was 59. Okay.
Now he's still on the sideline. He's up and moving. He doesn't have his helmet.
Okay.
He's not playing his helmet.
And welcome back to Lovington Wildcat football. The Cats take it 65 yards down the field, take 9.5 minutes off the clock, and then punch it in on a 1 yard quarterback keeper by Prudencio. The point after is good, and Lovington with the early 7-0 lead. I'm TJ Miracle high above Mac Chase Field at the Bulldog Bowl. Don Morgan patrolling field side. Abigail Schaus shadowing and running our camera this afternoon. Big thanks to Artesia Schools, Pecos Valley Broadcasting, for allowing us to do the video for this one as well. So the Cats will tee it up and boot it away as Caleb gets to it. It's a high end-over-ender, and that one's going to carry almost all the way through the end zone. Hits at the back of the end zone and then will go out, and so Artesia will have their opening possession of the ball game from the 20-yard line.
I think even without the wind, Caleb's got a big leg, and I think that would have flown even without the help from the wind behind it. And I guess that was the intention, was just to get it in the end zone and just try to pin him back, not let him have an opportunity to possibly run the ball back into the end zone.
Lovington has had a little trouble sometimes on special teams on run backs. Yep. So Isaac Cazares is the quarterback. He'll have split backs in the backfield with him. Twins to the left, single receiver to the right. Cazares is the do-everything back. He will hand it off to Galindo. He sweeps to the left, gets out of one tackle in the backfield, then turns it up. He's across the 30 and out to the 31-yard line before he is finally brought down. It's an 11-yard pickup for Galindo, and it'll be a first down for Artesia. You've got to wrap up when you hit them. Tackle, tackle, tackle. It's been kind of a weakness all year, and we've got a Wildcat down on the far sideline.
And the second time in this game. The first one, Alex Rivera went down. He is up and walking along the sideline. His helmet is sitting on the trainer's table, and he is he is being very, very, very easy with.
And that was Alec Olguin. He is up and off under his own power. You certainly hope that he's able to come back, but you shouldn't have Alec taking on Galindo, one of the big backs. So first down and 10 for the Bulldogs from their own 31-yard line. Casadas waits for it again, shotgun snap. Fakes the handoff, now he'll option pitch it, coming to the near side. Across the 35 to the 40, to the 42-yard line, a big fight, and finally Bryce Pata knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line. It's a 14-yard gain for Artesia. 2 rushes, 2 first downs. Patrick Sanchez, good to see him out there, takes him out, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs as they near midfield from their own 46-yard line.
And if you can't stop them, you at least need to slow them way down. You can't take 9-10 minutes on your possession and then give them 2-3 minutes to even up the score. You can't do that.
Twins left, single receiver to the right. Casadas with Pata and Galindo in the backfield with him. Fake the handoff. Casadas keeps it himself. Comes right side, gets a little hole, and is going to be stopped and taken out of bounds just shy of midfield as Kyler Reeves and on Dallas Cardenas will bring him down after a pickup of about 2. So it'll be 2nd down, and they're going to give him 3. So 2nd down and 7, just shy of midfield. Wildcats with the early 7-0 lead. Bulldogs on the march. 1:19 to go here in the first. Great crowd on hand, as you would expect for any playoff game, but especially Lovington Artesia. Twins left, single receiver to the right. On a 2nd down and 7, Casadas back to pass, has time. Sidearm sling, goes left side, has a man inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line. It is a 35-yard pitch and catch, as that one is complete to Ethan Kahn. He's his favorite target, 36 yards to Kahn. 3 plays, 3 first downs. Lovington has got to find a way to slow down the Bulldog juggernaut.
Yeah, they did. Nunez and Terrell were on the were trying to protect them, but just not close enough to be able to intercept that or stop that.
Twins right, single receiver to the left. Inside the Wildcat red zone. Bulldogs with under a minute to go here in the first. Casadas pump fake left, goes left, has Kahn, corner in the end zone, off of his helmet and incomplete. Lovington gets a gift right there as Kahn got wide open in that back corner of the end zone as Lovington bit on a little play to the left side and bit in on the pump fake, and you can't let the number 1 Bulldog receiver get that wide open.
And he's got some height too. Definitely has some height over Nunez, who was defending him.
2nd down and 10 from the Wildcat 15-yard line. Casadas keeps it. Nope, he pitches it to Pata. He'll come left side, turns up, he's inside the 10, and Cameron Ochoa knocks him down at the 5-yard line. Pickup of 11 for Pata. 2 carries, 25 yards, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs at the 5.
And there was at least one Wildcat behind him trying to get him and get a shoestring tackle and just missed him from behind. Again, Artesia with some quickness, even though they were wasting time going to the corner, they made the turn. He made the turn on the outside without getting stopped.
36 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Lovington with a 7-0 lead, but Artesia knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 5 for the Bulldogs. They are going from the left to the right. That is the north to the south. Split everybody out. Casadas by himself. Twins to the right, single receiver to the left. Casadas keeps it himself, left side, untouched, into the end zone for the touchdown. Casadas 5 yards on the quarterback keeper, and Artesia's gotten this one within a point with the point after to come.
And 32 seconds left in the first quarter. And it looks like they will kick.
Yeah, Artesia going to run the swinging gate here.
Yep.
Now they'll shift everybody over. Of course, off the foot of Dominguez now. So awaiting the point after to tie this one up. Snap is a little low, but it's handled. Dominguez gets it up. It tails off to the left, but not before it goes inside the left upright. Good. 32 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We're all tied at 7. 5A quarterfinals. Wildcats and the Bulldogs continue in a moment on KZOR.
So you're telling me that didn't even take 1 second off the clock? Well, it was
A 7-play drive that takes not even 2 minutes off the clock, and the Bulldogs cash in a 5-yard quarterback keeper from Casadas, and the point after is good. So we are all tied at 7 late in the first quarter. This is your 5A quarterfinals with Dawn Morgan. I'm TJ Miracle, Abigail Schaus, shadowing, running camera, Manny V in studio, engineering and producing on a very windy day. And it'll be another low-line drive kick. Lovington will pick it up off the bounce across the 15 to the 20, to the 25, and out to the 30 before Kyler Reeves is going to be brought down, but a good return there for Kyler. So Lovington will have it 1st and 10, and I really think if Artesia is going to pretty much be able to just get 10, 12 yards at a time, Dawn, Lovington is going to have another one of those clock-eating, consuming, but scoring drives.
They are, which means, just moving to the chains forward and taking the time, Now, their possession, again, does need to end up in the end zone and get ahead of Artesia. This could be a trading touchdowns first half here.
From the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. High snap handled, give it to Cam, and nowhere to go as he's hit behind the line. He's going to lose a yard on the play. All the Bulldogs seem to know exactly what was going to go on with that one. It'll be a loss of 1, 2nd down and 11.
They are well prepared. And, of course, these two teams having played each other before this season, and Artesia drew a bye last week. They've had 2 weeks to figure out, and, of course, this last week knowing exactly that they were going to face Lovington. So
stop made by De Leon Pacheco, and so it'll be 2nd and 11 for the Wildcats, and that'll end the first quarter. We're all tied at 7 after 1. Wildcat football returns in 1 minute on KZOR. And welcome back to Lovington Wildcat football here on Z94 KZOR. Second quarter underway, 2nd and 11 for the Wildcats. Twins to the left, single receiver to the right. Split backs in the backfield. Now they'll go empty set. They'll put Cardenas in the slot on the right side. Prudencio with it. 3-step drop back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Has Cardenas at the 35. Makes a nifty little move across the 40. Drags a Bulldog with him up the seam and across and out to the 46-yard line. Pick up a 17 and move the chains. 1st down, Lovington.
Yeah, good run. Nice work because he had number 56 hanging on to him.
Marco Soto. So the Wildcats make a nifty little move and get it across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Twins left, single receiver to the right. Lovington moving towards the south end zone this time. High snap, handed off Ochoa up the gut, and no room for Cam to go. He's going to get maybe a yard out of it with forward progress before he got met by everybody. Chris Aguilar, big number 99, stops him. It'll be a pickup of 1 for Cameron.
Unless Lovington gets a big block or two up front, these handoffs right up the middle are not going anywhere.
But one thing it does is it lets you kill off a lot of time. You'd like to get more than a yard at a time out of it.
That's true. You need to get about 3 or 4 at a time if you can.
Twins right, single receiver to the left. Now they'll go empty set again. Ochoa in the slot left side. Prudencio with it. Matthew Forrest throws it underneath. That one is going to be tipped and picked. And on the run, Artesia with it as that one was tipped and picked out of the air by Alejandro Ontiveros. Ontiveros will get it, and the INT will put paid to that drive just like that, and a huge return for the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs will have it first down inside the Wildcat red zone.
Wow, and I don't believe that has happened to Lovington this season, that somebody right there on the line, just right there, has tipped the ball, tipped it up, blocked the pass, in other words, and been able to recover the ball. This is a first for them, something I think they haven't had to think about that the other team would do or would be capable of doing against them.
And it was Caden Grantham, actually, who came down with the INT. So now Artesia with a gift. First turnover of the ball game goes in favor of the Bulldogs. Now they'll put trips to the right side, single receiver to the left. Casadas is the quarterback. Single back there with him is Galindo. Waiting on it, back to pass. Casadas looks left, fires left, has a man across the 10. Lovington hits him immediately, but not able to bring him down before he gets to the 5. It's 11 yards to Bryce Parr, and it'll be first and goal for Artesia.
And they don't actually ever bring him down. They just push him out of bounds. Olguin was in on that push. I didn't see who the other lineman was.
I believe that was Sanchez.
Sanchez, okay.
So it'll be first and goal for Artesia, trying to cash in on the Lovington turnover. Handed off, Galindo starts it to the right, bounces right, gets away from 1, gets away from 2, and finally runs into Jaden Garcia. Going to pick up 2 yards on the play, and it'll be second and goal from the 3.
Yeah, just tough. Defense really under the microscope here, and they've got to do the impossible, but they've got to try to do the impossible.
Second and goal from the 4 officially. Artesia going to split 2 receivers to the left side, single receiver to the right. Galindo in the backfield with Casadas. Good snap, fake the handoff, fire, get Con. Yep, it'll be complete and a touchdown. That's Diego Lopez from 4 yards out, and Artesia cashes in the turnover and will take the 13-7 lead.
Again, it's just tough. I really didn't expect him to throw it, but again, Lovington defense tasked with the impossible, trying to stop Artesia from the 2-yard line. Yeah, that's tough.
So now for the point after. 9:33 remaining here in the first half of play. Artesia's just taken a 13-7 lead. Artesia going to go for 2, the option pitch, and nothing doing. Lovington had that one sniffed out.
Nice.
Good job by the Wildcats to see that one coming and bring down Jack Byers. So with 9:33 to go here in the first, Artesia 13, Lovington 7. We're back in a minute on Z94 KZOR. Artesia takes advantage of a Lovington interception, and then they will take it into the end zone. The 2-point conversion no good as the ball will go bouncing out of bounds. Oh, they're going to say it got just within the pylon. That's a 15-yard difference, so Lovington will have it at the 20. Looked like that one was going to bounce out. I don't know. From here, it looked like it went in front of the pylon, but I guess it went around it.
I think I saw green, that's kind of green beads that jump up when the ball hits the green, hits the turf, and so I saw that. When I saw that, I thought I hit. I think it just got just hit right. It just caught green just enough to make the green fly. And by the way, that was Cam Ochoa who kept that 2-point conversion from happening. He brought down the quarterback on that one.
Good job by Ochoa on that one. Now Lovington needs to answer. 9.5 minutes to go. First half, they trailed 13-7. Have had the opportunity and have moved the ball pretty well here in the early going. Just a tip and an INT, which occasionally happens. Prudencio was getting pressured, stepped up in the pocket, and then Grantham got the pause on it. Off of the tip initially by, I believe that was Rafael Orozco who got the tip. So now from the shotgun, Prudencio with it, puts a man in motion. Ooh, they could have gotten him too many men in motion. Toss it over to the left side, complete to Sanchez. Good to see him out there, and it'll only be a 2-yard gain, though, for Patrick. 2nd down and 8, but whistles sound. I don't see any laundry on the field.
No. Well, yeah, there is one flag. We'll see what happens.
Oh, yep, on the far side, right at the 20.
Was it just for spotting, though?
I
think it was just he threw it for the spot.
I think we had too many men in motion, but we'll see.
They're marking something off. Yep. It's against Lovington.
The Whitecap has not signaled anything, but
he hasn't, but they marked the ball off.
So I'm going to say too many men in motion. So false start on the Wildcats. So wipe out the 2-yard gain, and they'll bring up a 1st down and 15. Going to put Rivero by himself to the right side. Everybody else is bunched in tight. Hand it off and through the middle as Ochoa puts a hand down and manages to get most of the penalty back. It'll be 4 for Ochoa as he found a little room up the middle. It'll be 2nd down and 11. The Wildcats a couple of times have managed to put the hand down and get a couple more yards off of initial contact.
And you got to do everything you can against Artesia. You got to pick up a yard. Every yard is important. Everything you can do.
Now they're going to put Sanchez by himself out to the left side. Artesia going to stack 9 men in the box. Prudencio waits on it. Fakes the pitch, back to pass, looks pressured, rolls left, gets out of the sack, and he'll go down and he'll cross the 25 to the 26-yard line. So Matthew just having to tuck and run. Good coverage down the field. It'll be a pickup of 7 for Prudencio, and that'll make it 3rd and a manageable about 3, but we've got a Wildcat down, and that's not a good thing.
No, and that was number 43, I think, or no, it was 45. I think Salamanca, who was there with the coverage and forced him on, saw him. It was either 45 or 49, Huffman. And
yeah, I mean, there's 106 guys on the Artesia roster, just to give you an idea of having to move everything around. So
right.
And they are spending some time on the downed Wildcats. So with the injury timeout, we'll take 30. Wildcat playoff football continues in a moment on KZOR.
It's Prudencio.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
And it's his left knee. He's pointing to his left knee, and he's coming off.
Okay. 15? Okay.
10? 5, 3, 2, 1.
Matthew Prudencio is the cat that is being helped off of the field. Lovington now is going to have to scramble. They'll go to the Wildcat formation. Looks like Cam Ochoa will take the snap here on a 3rd down and 3. Pitch out and a long pitch. Now they'll do the pitch back to Ochoa. He's got some room. Gets a block on the left side across the 30 to the 35, out to the 37-yard line on the pitch back. So Cam Ochoa will take it out 11 yards and move the chains. 1st down, Lovington.
Yeah, he had footsteps. He was getting pretty good coverage on him by by Villa, but couldn't get.
And it was Valente Herrera that gave him the block that sprung him for the extra yards and got him the first down. So out to the 38-yard line. If you're just joining us, Matthew Prudencio just going out injured. Lovington starting quarterback, so now they are running with the backup plan. Cam Ochoa thinks about the option pitch. He'll keep it himself and get it out to the 40. It's 2 yards for Cam. 2nd down and 8. And, Don, it really changes the complexion of this ball game if you do not have Prudencio out there, because that will pretty much take out your passing game and your passing attack.
As far as we know, we have seen another quarterback in the game briefly in a couple of games when Lovington was way ahead and they were able to, to get somebody else in, a younger player in. But we'll see what happens.
I believe Paul Sanchez may be
the backup
maybe
quarterback.
the backup quarterback. And so it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Wildcats. Looking back, firing. That's Patrick Sanchez, no room to go, and he gets away from 1, gets away from 2, crosses the 40, turns nothing into a 1-yard gain. Is Sanchez now
pretty fearless. That's Patrick.
Yeah.
That's Patrick Sanchez, and on the run, and man, that talk about fearless. He bulldozed. He put his head down right in the middle of 3 Artesia defenders, and still managed to get another yard and a half even after that.
So that'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Wildcats. 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. Lovington trails by 6. 13-7 is the score. And it looks like Cardenas will take the snap this time. Nope, he'll move over. Sanchez to take the snap. Empty set in the backfield for Patrick. Patrick back to pass, looks, fires across the middle, and ugly, and that one is incomplete.
I think it was intended for Kyler Reeves.
All right, and so for the Wildcats now, it'll be punt time on 4th down and 7 on the incompletion. And very lucky that one wasn't picked off. So punt time now for Lovington with 6:36 remaining here in the first half. Get to it, and that one is going to be blocked, and that one is bouncing back inside the 10, and Artesia will have it inside the 10. It is still bouncing around, and Lovington falls on it at the 2-yard line, but it is it's not a turnover officially, but Sanchez will get to it at the 1-yard line, but that is almost as good as a turnover if you're the Bulldogs, Dawn.
That was Hartley, the Bulldog, who blocked that.
So Artesia going to have it right on the doorstep. Axel Hartley with the punt block.
It's been the blocks that have created the 2, extra offensive opportunities here for Artesia. They cashed it in on the first opportunity. Now it's up to Lovington to try to keep them from doing that here, but they're just almost at the goal line.
1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Artesia from the far hash mark has a blocked punt, making it very tough. Casadas waits on it. Actually, they're going to run the Wildcat with Galindo. He'll come left side, pushes through and bounces in and backs in. Galindo from 2 yards out. And Artesia goes up in this one 19-7 with the point after to come.
Oh boy. It started off really well for Lovington. They had it well in hand, but a couple of injuries, having key players out, and then a couple of blocks by Artesia. A turnover.
Yeah, turnover, a tip, turnover, a block. Yeah, it's just.
And as Artesia has created, Lovington hasn't been making mistakes so much as Artesia has created the opportunities offensively, aggressively for themselves.
Artesia will go for 2. Galindo will take the snap, and he'll just jump and toss it, and that one will be caught in the back of the end zone on the jump pass to Aiden Huffman, and Artesia puts 2 more up, and with 6:21 to go in the first half, Artesia 21, Lovington 7. Back in a minute on KZOR. A blocked punt leads to a one-play, 2-yard drive for Artesia. The 2-point conversion is good. And on the kickoff, that one will go through the back of the end zone, and Lovington will take back over 1st and 10 from the 20. And, Don, if you're the Cats now, you've been hit by a truck and a steamroller, and you're maybe feeling a little bit like the Coyote in some of the Roadrunner cartoons, but you got to take a deep breath now and figure it out, and you've got to do it without your senior quarterback.
Yeah, and this is the toughest spot for a team to be in. And when you talk about facing adversity and overcoming, you might have heard, I think Coach Bailey's voice came across the microphone after Prudencio went down, and before that last block and score by Artesia, he was already going along the back of the team saying, hey, we've got tough times, but you got to believe something special will happen. You got to work hard, do your job. You got to believe something special will come out of it.
Patrick Sanchez in at the quarterback position. They'll put 2 receivers to the left, and just too much confusion on what's going on. And so timeout by the Wildcats with 6:21 remaining here in the first half of play. We'll just keep it right here.
Oh, it's a scramble. I mean, with this many changes happening in that short of a time to this team with those key players, this is a scramble. Even when you have, players to be able to step up and come in and try to get the job done, then still, with this much change in this amount of time, it's tough for any team. You've got to scramble. And the coaches are, they've got, of course, in their heads, they've had to think about what if we lose this player, that player. I mean, they think about contingencies. Coaching isn't just calling the play in the moment on the field. It's about preparation. It's about research. It's about thinking about your team, thinking about what the other team could do during a game, and thinking about contingencies. If this happens, if that player, if we go down, what do we do? And so some of that preparation, of course, is coming into play right here. We'll see how they adapt in this circumstance.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from the 20-yard line off of the timeout. They trail by 2 touchdowns. Twins to the left, single receiver to the right. Patrick Sanchez, the quarterback, and he'll just throw that one into the ground. That's a backwards pass. Kyler Reeves going to have to pick that one up and just fall on it. Back at the 10, Coach Bailey is asking for incomplete pass. Unfortunately, I think it's going to go down as a fumble, and Kyler Reeves will take the loss on the play. Ouch, as Patrick just kind of dumped that one into the ground, and they got lucky. They're going to say incomplete, and so it'll be 2nd down and 10. From up here, Don, it sure looked like a backwards pass.
It didn't miss by much, for sure. But again, yes, a little luck sometimes.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 off the incompletion. Lovington with Matthew Prudencio out injured. They've also lost Alex Rivera up on the line. Now they're going to split trips to the left side. Put Cardenas in the backfield. Patrick with it, sacked and crunched back at the 14-yard line. Ouch. As coming through and putting the big hit on was Grantham.
And boy, to have these kinds of adjustments you're having to make with your team against a team like Artesia, man, it just feels like all the football gods are frowning on Lovington today, right?
Yeah, it does. First sack of the ball game for either team. And so it'll be 3rd down and a long way to go for the Wildcats. 3rd down and 18, 5:40 remaining in the first half. Lovington punched him in the mouth and took a long time off the clock, but then injuries and a couple of minor miscues have really cost the Wildcats. Sanchez with it. Fakes the handoff, tosses it. Reeves picks it up off the turf, but he's going to get nowhere. He gets maybe a yard out of it before he's knocked down and taken to the turf by Aiden Huffman. And so it'll be a 1-yard completion out to Kyler Reeves. And so that'll bring up 4th down and 17, and it ought to be punt time for the Cats.
It is. Patrick stays out on the field. Of course, he'll go back. We'll see. He'll punt the ball away.
And it looks like Artesia, you got to think they're probably going to bring everything in the kitchen sink. As Patrick gets it and then hits it off the side of his foot. It's an ugly wobbler that'll be picked up, but good coverage down the field, and we got flags flying everywhere as Elijah Rivero comes through and will take down Charlie Campbell, but we'll see what the flags are.
That looked like a clean hit. It was fine, as this far downfield. The problem was upfield, I think.
Yeah, maybe a hold. I don't know. We'll have to see. So flag on the play. And they're pointing Artesia's way. This official has not signaled the penalty. Now he's going to, it'll be holding on Artesia during the return. So that'll be the first penalty of the game on the Bulldogs. Each team with just one penalty thus far. And it will move Artesia all the way back to midfield. So they'll have it 1st and 10 from the 50. So holding against the Bulldogs with 4:49 remaining here in the first half. Lovington needs a defensive stop desperately here. 2 touchdowns is a bunch. 3 would be very tough. Casadas from the shotgun, back with it. Looks to the right, throws to the left, has it complete to Kahn. He's across the 40, down the sideline, and to the 30-yard line. They're going to say inside the 30 to the 29, and so it'll be a 21-yard completion to Ethan Kahn, and it'll be a first down for Artesia.
Yeah, closest Wildcats to him were Ochoa and Nunez, and he was just able to take it, make a little turn, spin, and get up the sideline.
From the Wildcat 29-yard line, first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They'll put quads in a diamond formation right side. You don't see that often. They'll throw the wide receiver screen to that right side across the
26.
30. Looking into the 20. That's Galindo inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. So it'll be 12 yards out to Frankie Galindo, and it'll be another first down for Artesia.
For a minute, when he first got the ball, it looked like the Wildcats were going to be able to stop him, but Artesia was able to get a big block and keep him open.
From the 17-yard line inside the Wildcat red zone, diamond formation left side. Casadas keeps it himself, and he is hit by Herrera and also by Bronx Areola as he takes it up the gut. But he's still going to wind up picking up about 5 on the play on the keeper. So 2nd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. Under 4 minutes to play here in this first half. Wildcats trailing 21-7. If you're just joining us, Alex Rivera, big presence up on the line, out injured, and Matthew Prudencio also going out injured. And now Artesia will come out on a 2nd down and 5, put a man in motion from the right to the left. Casadas with it, looks left, fires left, has his man, and Lovington, good job staying home. It's going to be no gain on the play. It'll be complete to Bryce Parra, but for no gain, and it'll be 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, good job there.
No gain on the play.
And I think that was Cam Ochoa, Alex Rivera, and number 41 as well, our 41, who is Julius Arroyo.
It's a good job by the Wildcat secondary that time. So on 3rd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. Deep inside Lovington territory. Trying to go up by 3 scores here late in the first half. Casadas with split backs in the backfield. Twins to the right, single receiver to the left. Good snap, pump fake it right. Little jump pass up, and it'll be complete, but that'll actually be a loss on the play as Casadas dumps it underneath to Pata, but he's going to lose a couple on the play, so it'll be 4th down and 7 now.
Damian Munoz was one of the Wildcats in on that. There were 2 or 3 instrumental in stopping that and keeping and throwing that for a loss.
So the Bulldogs going to come out and look at field goal formation. Trying to take advantage here. So on to attempt the field goal is number 49. That is Huffman. The snap is good. The kick is up, and it's
good.
Good. And so from 32 yards out, Huffman will cash that one in and put Artesia up 24-7. We're back in a minute as Wildcat playoff football continues on KZOR. Artesia gets a 33-yard field goal to make this a 24-7 ball game. Huffman will kick it off, and it'll go all the way through the back of the end zone. And so Lovington will start it from their own 20-yard line. 2:07 to go here in the first half. And if you are the Wildcats, Dawn, I think you just want to get this half over with and see and recollect. Because, you got to play, but you just got to make sure that this doesn't get out of hand.
Exactly. Just over 2 minutes left until the half. So, yeah, I think exactly right. You want to hang on to it. Hey, if you can break somebody else, you can create a big play and head for the end zone. Why not?
Yeah, if you can do that, you certainly need to. I think the key to this drive is just don't leave Artesia enough time to get any more points on the board.
And don't turn over the ball in any way.
Yeah.
Don't give them a chance to block or pick it off. So I think you're going to see it on the ground.
Yeah, I think so. And looks like we may have a new quarterback into the ball game as whistles sound and timeout sound. Yeah, they're going to have Jaden Gutierrez as the quarterback. And so timeout by Lovington, their third and final timeout. So we'll just go ahead and take a 30 as Wildcat football continues in a moment. Welcome back to Lovington Wildcat Playoff Football here on Z94 KZOR Hobbs Lovington, the Z94 KZOR Hobbs app, Lovington Sports YouTube channel, and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm TJ Miracle, high above Mac Chase Field at the Bulldog Bowl. Don Morgan patrolling the green and orange here this afternoon. So 2:07 to go first half. Lovington led this one early 7-0, but Bulldogs have scored 24 unanswered since then. Gutierrez now in at the quarterback position. And he'll just take it, sweep it to the near side himself, turns up, gets a block across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Nice job by Jaden on the quarterback keeper there to pick up 6. They're going to give him 5 officially, 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, still a nice run for him. And again, he was following blockers in order to get that run and get that yardage. So
Jaden Garcia doing a nice job over on this near side. Gave him an opportunity. Sterling White too. So 2nd down and 5 for the Wildcats. Gutierrez, high snap. He'll go left side this time, and nothing doing. He gets back to the line. No gain. Artesia, looks like they said, yeah, we saw that one. And now Artesia is going to take the timeout, facing a 3rd down and 5. They want an opportunity to get the ball back and see if they can get another quick score here, Don.
Yeah, it's 1:29 left on the clock, and that's the last thing that Lovington really needs to just get forward yardage. Don't turn over the ball. Don't let Artesia score again right before half.
And Artesia gets the ball to start the second half, too.
Exactly. I was going to say that not only would they score, but then carry that momentum, through the half and then have the ball right after halftime. You know what they're trying to do. They're trying to just get as many points on the board as early as possible, try to get this, if they could stretch this out enough to get into running clock to shorten the game. That's their plan, is just to get the ball, score as often, put as many points even. That's why they went and put points on with the field goal.
Yeah, and that's smart football, especially in the playoffs. Shorten the game as much as you can. Pardon me.
And Lovington, it's so tough. I mean, for all the coaching, preparation you can in terms of, hey, if we have to do this and this player goes out, what do we do? It's still, you've got to have the players to be able to, withstand the heat of the battle to make those changes out there and play into
2 tight ends, and we're going to change up on the quarterback again. Looks like Ochoa.
Nope,
it is Gutierrez, but the option pitch, it's going to get away from everybody. Artesia is going to scoop it, going to score it, and ouch. Another fumble, the 2nd turnover of the ball game on a bad pitch for the Wildcats, and it goes into the end zone for Artesia with Marco Soto. And just like that, 30-7, and the disastrous second quarter continues for Lovington.
Boy, you talk about how different could one quarter be to another, and we've had it here today.
We certainly have, and so Artesia now attempting the point after. They're going to go ahead and get an Artesia football thrown in. So now Artesia up by 23. Got to think maybe they've got the field goal unit out there, but No, they don't either, and so they're going to put a man in motion. Now they're going to shift everybody over. And, yep, they will come over and attempt the field goal, the point after, if you will. Trying to make this a 31-7 ball game. Snap is good, hold is good, the kick is up, and it is good. With 1:21 remaining here in the first half, Artesia has taken advantage of 2 Lovington turnovers and a couple of Lovington miscues, and they go up in this one 31-7. We're back in 30 seconds on KZOR. And welcome back to Wildcat playoff football here on Z94 KZOR. The Bulldogs take advantage of the second Lovington turnover, a scoop and defensive score for Soto. The point after is good, makes this one 31-7 as Artesia has stretched this one out. Don Morgan patrolling field side. I'm TJ Miracle high above the Bulldog Bowl. And, of course, you are listening on Z94 KZOR, watching Lovington Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, with rights secured by Noel-Mark Broadcasting and Z94 KZOR Sports from the NMAA. We paid for it. Artesia Schools, Pecos Valley Broadcasting also confirming that one, as the kickoff will go into the back of the end zone, and that'll bring it out to the 20. And so for the Wildcats, now if you're Artesia, you're thinking about, hey, maybe we can get another score in this one. They've still got two timeouts left. And Lovington is just sputtering all over the place. No nicer way to put it, Dawn.
No, although it's understandable with the things that have happened to them, and especially, well, Rivera went out in the first quarter, but second quarter.
Yeah, losing Prudencio.
Exactly. There's a lot to scramble, and there's nothing like it's only you only get poise under pressure from being battle scarred time in the game, and we don't have Lovington's not that deep of a team to be able to have.
Ochoa will keep it himself, and he's hitting the backfield and nowhere to go as Artesia just swarms him under. And so on the keeper, Ochoa going to lose a yard on the play, and it'll be second down and 11.
So Lovington's options here on how far they can adjust and how much they can adjust and adapt are, they're somewhat limited in that.
Well, they certainly are. And you mentioned, Lovington, these are a bunch of tough kids, and they will give you everything they've got, but when you've got 106 kids on one roster and you've got 48 on the other.
And you're losing key players from that one.
Yes, you are, as Ochoa.
Nice.
Left side has some room, and he's going to fall forward out to the 25-yard line. 6-yard pickup for Cam.
Yeah.
And so it'll be third down and about 5.
That was tough. He did some really good running there. He had to run over, a couple of Artesia guys. He got a good block, but he made the most of that for himself.
And so it looks like Artesia going to be content just to let the clock run down. Lovington will have to run at least one more play. We've got your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show coming up. Of course, Bob's Thriftway coaches conversation too. Joe waits for it, hands it off. Cardenas sweeps left, but he's going to get back to the line. Nothing doing for Dallas as they took it out on the far side, and that will end the first half of play. Artesia in the lead of this one by a score of 31-7. We'll have your...
I got it, Coach, right here.
All right, go ahead and take it down.
All right, yeah, tough. Good first quarter, tough second quarter, losing key players. What do you do? How do you adapt, and where do you go from here, Coach?
Well, we're trying to figure it out. Losing Matthew, losing Alex Rivera, Alec Holguin's down right now. I'm not trying to make excuses, but those are our good players, some of our good players. We just got to find a way to move the ball. We run the ball good, and it's difficult without them. And so I just want our guys to fight as hard as they can for as long as they can. That's what I want. Just fight.
All right, we'll see you in the second half.
Yes, ma'am.
The big message?
Oh, that's it. Just love your brother as hard as you can. Play for them. Play for them. You can't play for yourself anymore. That's okay, but you can play for them.
All right, thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, Don Morgan, thanks, Coach Bailey, for our Bob Thriftway Coaches conversation. Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show in 3 minutes as Wildcat playoff football continues on Z94 KZOR. And welcome to your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How Halftime Show from Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. When you need the Napa Know-How for your car, and trust me, my friends, at some point you will, get it from the good folks at Lovington Auto Supply. Lovington Auto Supply in Napa, get up and go. And it looked like we may have a get up and go ball game in that first quarter as Lovington opened up the game with a 9.5-minute drive that they did cash in. And they cashed it in on a 1-yard quarterback keeper from Matthew Prudencio. But since then, well, unfortunately, the wheels have pretty much come off for the Wildcats. Let's take a look at the numbers in the first half of this one. We will start with Artesia. And through the air, Isaac Cazares goes 7 of 8 for 82 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. His touchdown, a 4-yarder to Diego Lopez. His favorite target as far as catch numbers goes, it's been Bryce Parra. He's got 3 catches for 9 yards. Ethan Kahn, though, 2 catches, 53 yards in that first half. He leads all the receivers in the ballgame. On the ground, it is Bryce Parra leading the way. He's got 2 carries, 25 yards. Isaac Cazares with 3 carries for 13 yards, but that includes a 5-yard touchdown. And Frankie Galindo has been pretty quiet today. He's got 3 carries for 15 yards, one of them for a 2-yard touchdown. For the Bulldogs, they get 7 first downs in that first half. Huffman kicked a 33-yard field goal, but really it's just not been the Wildcats' half, to put it mildly, as, let's see, that will be, and math is not my strong suit, but 7 points in the first and then a whole bunch in the second. 24 points in the second gets Artesia to their 31 on the board. Turning the page for the Lovington Wildcats. The Wildcat quarterbacking trio today, Matthew Prudencio going down. Patrick Sanchez and also Jaden Gutierrez have taken snaps at the quarterback position. Collectively 6 of 11 for 39 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception in the ball game. So 39 through the air. Dallas Cardenas has 30 of those receiving yards. On the ground, it's Cam Ochoa, 10 carries, 38 yards, 3.8 yards a carry. You like to see that. Cardenas, 7 carries, 29 yards. Prudencio, before he went out hurt, 3 carries, 9 yards, including Lovington's lone tally. Jaden Gutierrez with a couple of carries for 5 yards. And Patrick Sanchez with 1, make that 2 carries for -7 yards. One of those was an 8-yard sack, the only sack of the ball game for either team. Collectively, 39 through the air, 74 on the ground, 113 total for Lovington. 7 points in the first, none in the second. 7 first downs for the Wildcats, so that's been okay. And just 1 penalty for 5 yards. As when you've got guys hurt, and you heard Coach say it, Don, you know, it's just a tough thing to have to go through.
Yes, it is a very tough thing. So we're, I mentioned, one of the things about coaching is preparation and thinking about having to maybe go through a series of plays, without your quarterback, or go through, make adjustments. Who do you put on the line if number so-and-so goes out or number so-and-so goes out? What do you do? What adjustments do you make? But those kind of adjustments, they only come with, if the players who are going in, are battle scarred enough. I mean, you earn that poise under pressure and being able to play in key positions. You usually earn that through game time. It comes through, there's all kinds of practice, but you can only earn that kind of experience in a game, and you only have so many players, who have seen significant game time be able to do that. So when it comes time, against a good team in a playoff in a high pressure situation against a team like Artesia, you've got to go with plays and players who are accustomed to being out there. They're your starters. You're adjusting and putting in and calling those plays just like they have with the players who are accustomed to maybe taking snaps, out of the Wildcat, maybe, on a play or two, being able to go ahead and take that ball and go ahead and throw a pass. Patrick Sanchez made a couple of very good throws, a couple of good passes, and unfortunately they weren't for great gains, So there's just only so much you can do. You can plan for, you can practice for, you can play for, you can prepare for as a coach. If they happen and you get 2 or 3 of them, you're unlucky enough to lose not just one key player but 2, and to have a third, questionable because of injuries throughout the game. Well, you quickly run out of options to be able to execute the way that you want, and to be able to execute the plays that you're calling, and to stick with your game plan against a team. You quickly run out of options, and when you're in that position, as you heard Coach said, what you need is you just need the players who are in there, who are being asked to do either their regular jobs or an additional job or extra job or something they're not accustomed to doing. You want them to just hang in there, give everything they've got, fight as hard as they can, and play and leave it out on the field so that nobody has regrets. So you can look and say, they were a great team. We had, we didn't make a lot of mistakes, but they created opportunities through aggressive play and good execution. And then we had some bad luck on top of that. And you can just say we did the best we could with what we've got. Now, there's still a half of a football game left to play. And yes, Lovington is a tremendous amount of things to overcome coming out. They're not going to have the ball to start that third quarter, and Artesia's already in steamroll mode, and they're fired up because of all of the success they've had and because of all of the misfortune that Lovington has had. And so Lovington has that much more of a higher wall to try to climb in this second half, and it's going to be tough, but they're going to just have to come out and execute and play as well as they can. And who knows, when you play your best and when you're out there on the field, certain things may happen to the other team. You may get opportunities you didn't realize. You've got to capitalize on everything that you can, work as hard as you can, and try to force your own and create some of your own opportunities. And that's what they're going to have to do, even though it's going to be very, very difficult coming out in the second half. But let's hope that they're not going to come out with their heads down. Let's hope they're going to come out with their heads up, thinking about what's possible, what they have to do. Faith over fear has been their motto this season, and they, more than any other instance, more than any other game, more than any other time this season, have they needed to think about that, heed that, follow that. Now is the time for faith over fear, for sure.
Well, it certainly is. Other scores from Lee County action going on. It is late in the first half at Wilson Stadium in Albuquerque, and the Hobbs Eagles are getting pretty well manhandled by the La Cueva Bears, the number 1 team in 6A. That game is 44-0 in favor of La Cueva late in the first half. Just over the mountain in Tularosa, that game also late in the first half. And the Eunice Cardinals right now holding on to a 7-point lead, 13-6 over Tularosa late in the first half there, too. Our score here at half, 31-7 in favor of the Artesia Bulldogs. But if you're just joining us, Lovington, 3 of their biggest guns are down and out. Matthew Prudencio, the starting quarterback, Alec Olguin, starting safety, also starting receiver, and they've also lost Alex Rivera off of the line. And so the Wildcats are kind of the walking wounded coming into the second half. But yeah, you've got to just play out the string, and you've got to just play and come out and give it everything you've got in this second half. I think you're absolutely right, Don. And leave it all out on the field. No excuses. You can always say, hey, if we got beat by the better team. We got beat by some injuries, but we gave it everything we had. And I think for Lovington, they're going to have to come out fired up and just do what they can do.
And that's all that fans can ask of them too. That's all they can ask of themselves, and that's all that we can expect. I mean, we talk a lot about and we these are, it's a high school team. It's a high school team, and it's amazing what 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old players can achieve out on the field, and the things that they can do and accomplish. And but we still need to remember that sports, it's supposed to be fun. You shouldn't have to be afraid every play that you run that you're going to get injured, that you're going to get taken out. And football is a no pain, no gain sport, and you have to lay it all out. You have to be physical. You have to be ready for that physicality. But that's one thing. But you just got to continue to play and be there. As Coach said, those players shouldn't be playing for the coaches. They shouldn't be playing for their parents. They shouldn't be playing for the fans and those of us who are calling the game and putting great expectations on their shoulders. They should be playing these games for themselves and for each other particularly, because they're a team. They're out on the field together. When they're on the field, the coaches are not on the field with them. The parents are not out on the field. We're not out on the field with them. They are there alone against another team. They have to get the job done. They have to be able to know what they put into the game, what they're getting out of the game, and to be able to hold their heads high throughout it despite what happens. And that's how you prevail. You may not prevail on the scoreboard at the end of the game, but you prevail. You succeed because you did what you intended to do, and that's all that you can do. That's all you can control. You can't control the other team, what they can do, who they are, how good they are, what happens. You can't control luck. There's bad luck, there's good luck that happens to each team in these games. What I can say, it's a relief that this game, so far, we haven't been talking about poor calls, bad calls, missed calls, lack of this, lack of that. It's been a pretty clean game in that aspect. It's just been an unfortunate game full of misfortune for our Lovington Wildcats.
Well, it certainly has. Of course, today's game here on Z94 KZOR, the Z94 KZOR app, and also video streaming on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and HobbsAmerica.com. The video stream rights purchased by New Walmart Digital and granted by the New Mexico Activities Association, and videoing of the contest agreed to by both the Artesia Schools, Lovington Schools, and by Pecos Valley Broadcasting, our friends here in Artesia, who also host video rights, and so they allowed us to do that as well, and we certainly do appreciate that. 31-7 at halftime is our score. The Wildcats in a hole against the Bulldogs. Say a big thank you while we've got a moment to our friends at Bob's Thriftway, New Mexico Junior College, Battle Energy, Eunice Pump and Supply, Lasco Construction, the Miko Companies, Cannon Safety, Man Welding, Norley Hospital District, Lovington Schools, LECO, Devon Energy, Western States Insurance, Stone Oilfield Services, IPS Incorporated, First American Bank of Lovington, Lovington Auto Supply Napa halftime show, also Master Plumbers and the Lee County Electric Cooperative, making it possible for us to bring you Wildcat football all season and Wildcat playoff football as well from here at the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia. So winner of this one, of course, will move on, take on the winner of, I believe it's Mayfield and Deming, be next week here. No, not many, I think, of the 8 teams left, 6 of them from our district. So
yeah, and we knew going into this season when they redistricted, when they decided that Lovington was somehow big enough to be a 5A school and put them in this district with 8 top 10 teams. We knew at the very beginning of the season it was going to be a hard one. It was going to be a hard one, and Lovington came out. They had a winning season, 6-4. They've played very well. They stumbled a little bit. It's not where they expected to be and how they expected to be in the playoffs, but they won their first playoff game. They're here, and of course we all knew that if Lovington made the playoffs and they got into the playoffs, it was going to be a bear because of all of the top teams that are all in one district against each other. I mean, that's an easy way to cull it down and to get it all down to just one team coming out of a district where about at least 6 to 8 of those teams could take out a lot of the rest of the state.
Well, and
instead they're taking out each other in order to play, who knows, possibly a weaker team.
I've got a feeling, though, after today, it will be all teams out of our district.
Yes,
I've just got that feeling.
Exactly,
so.
and we looked at that at the very beginning saying, yeah, it could very easily come down to, and probably should in terms of, of this, just the records, the seedings, the expectations. It would come down to teams here in our district. Probably the final 2 games, the semifinals and the final, may be all from this one district. And that, you look at that and you just think,
you think, wow.
Yeah, you think, really? is that really how it had to be and needed to be? But again, you don't want to feel like you're making excuses for your team. And I think that, the coaches are very quick to do that and say, if anything, they take the responsibility for themselves, about things, about losses, about teams, not ending up, where they expect to be or want to be. But the team, you've got to know that the team's disappointed. We also want to say and hope that the players who are injured, and one of them, Matt Prudencio, right here, is being helped up. He is certainly not going to be going back in the game, but he wants to be here on the side. Carefully brought him out here, wheeled him out on a cart. He's got crutches, and he is going to be right here to watch and be with his team in this way. It's not the way you want to finish, and we hope that our players who are out, including Prudencio, are not significantly injured and create problems. Now this is not how I'm sure that either of those players wanted to go, is not being able to be in and even play in most of the game. So we just say that we hope that they will rehab and recover from those injuries, and the deeper injury here is that is the disappointment that they must feel not being able to be in this game and be a part of the effort all the way through the game, no matter how that game turns out.
Well, you're absolutely right, Don, and I've got to go ahead and cut you off there because we are getting ready for the start of the third quarter. So we wrap up your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show from Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. When you need the Napa know-how for your car, get it from Lovington Auto Supply. Lovington Auto Supply in Napa. Get up and go.
Yeah, you didn't cut me off. I was through.
We'll be back in 2 minutes for the start of the third quarter. Wildcat football continues in a moment here on Z94 KZOR.
Thank you. 2 minutes.
And welcome back to Lovington Wildcat Playoff Football here on Z94 KZOR and on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. I'm TJ Miracle, high above the Bulldog Bowl. Don Morgan patrolling Mac Chase Field. Manny V in studio engineering and producing and shadowing and running our camera today. Abigail Schaus, thanks for being with us in a game that has turned all Bulldogs on some injuries especially, but Artesia 31-7 over the Lovington Wildcats here as the Cats continuing their warm-up, as are the Bulldogs. So second half, I think, if you're Lovington, your goal now is to keep this from getting to running clock, if I'm not misreading this, Dawn.
Yeah, absolutely. If the Bulldogs are going to want to get it into running clock as soon as they can, the Wildcats are going to try to keep that from happening for as long as they can. And Wildcats still, you don't want to just think that you're trying to keep the other team from doing something. You still want to try to make those opportunities for yourself if you get a chance on offense. And You're just going to have to play as well as you can and still execute. Your game time goals are the same as they always are. Do your job, stay in your lane, and play as hard as you can, play for each other, and execute as well as you can. Make as few mistakes as you can, incur as few penalties as you can, and just try to move the chains forward when you have the ball. They still are, all of those are this very same. They're just they come with asterisks now, right?
Well, 24 down is not an impossible hill to climb, but without probably your number 1A or number 2 receiver and without one of your best linemen and without your quarterback, it becomes a very hard and very steep hill to climb. But I have a feeling the Cats are going to come out and give it everything they've got, no matter what the obstacles are that face them in the form of the Bulldogs. So the Wildcats will kick off. Cats will be defending the south end zone here in this third quarter. And the Bulldogs will be moving from the north to the south. That's left to right from my perspective. As Caleb Aranda will tee it up at the 40, and we are just about ready to go. Start of the third quarter here in the 5A quarterfinals.
And it felt like that halftime was very long.
It was extremely long. I think they added 4 or 5 minutes to it at some point.
They must have, because there's no way that was a regular one. Wind has taken the ball off the tee there.
Yeah, they'll probably have to have a holder come out.
Right.
Keep a hand on it.
Maybe not. I think they're going to trust it at least for the first attempt.
So Caleb will set it up, and he will boot it away. Something tells me he's going to try and get it out of the back of the end zone. Is hitting that ball off the tee.
Yep. All right.
So setting it up, and I have a feeling Kyler Reeves, he was coming out like, okay, I'll hold on to it. But
they may try it one more time.
So the ball steadies on the tee at the moment. Caleb ready to boot it away towards the stutter step, and it'll be a squib kick. It'll come bouncing. It'll be fielded, and that'll give Artesia the chance to run their starburst. Coming to the near side on the handoff. 25 to the 30, 35 to the 40, 45 to the 50, and that will cut it back to the 40, to the 30, 15, 10, 5, and they made them pay for it. Tootie McNeil will take it 91 yards to the house. And out, 91 yards for McNeil on the kickoff return. Lovington let it skip, let him set the starburst, bought on it, and then McNeil takes it to the house.
I am very surprised that Lovington did that. They didn't just try to just boot it completely into the end zone. I thought that would be the game plan there.
I kind of thought it would be too, but didn't work out quite that way. So that'll make it a 37-7 ball game with just 17 seconds gone here in the third. So Artesia up by 30 as they go to the swinging gate. We'll try to get it to 31. So we'll see what they decide to do. So the point after to come, the third quarter starts with a kickoff return for touchdown. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. And so 11:43 to go in the third. We'll just keep it right here, make it 38-7 in favor of the Bulldogs. And yeah, Don, the Lovington special teams just kind of bit there, and it bit them.
Yeah, that's the scenario that we didn't want to see. That's what the Lovington didn't want to give them a chance to run that back, for a touchdown and start this second half even further in the hole. But they can dig. All they can do is dig, do their best dig. I mean, for now, there's no running clock, and still got 2 quarters of football left to play.
That's right, but you are getting dangerously close to that running clock territory now, down by 31 points. So another touchdown by Artesia without a resulting score from Lovington would make it changes of possession, and of course the change of quarter. So Lovington now is going to need to answer back immediately if they can. So Artesia's done pretty much everything. They've had a interception that got returned down. They've had a couple of They've had a punt block that they turned into a touchdown on the next play. They've had a kickoff return for a touchdown. They've had a field goal. They've had a scoop and score on a bad pitch.
And they've taken out one of our 2 top players. And if you're going to try to take players out, those are, a lineman, a big lineman, important to you, and your quarterback. Those are the 2 to take out of the game.
And the kickoff, it'll be an onside kick. It'll be a high bouncer, and Artesia going to get it on the hop and on the jump. Taking it through and jumping up was Corbin Dominguez. Of course, as soon as he touched the ball, it was a dead ball, but it'll be Artesia football as they try and put this one into running clock territory as the onside no man's land kick. And Artesia will have it 1st and 10 from the Wildcat around 35.
Yeah, and it was one of those kicks. It didn't go on the turf necessarily. It was a high bouncer that bounced off and bounced up.
They'll put it at the 38-yard line inside Wildcat territory. As Artesia keeping their foot on the gas. And basically they've had 3 possessions now to none for Lovington into the half and into this second half. Twins left, Twins to the right. Casares is the quarterback. Galindo in the backfield with him. Casares low snap, hands it to Galindo. Starts left, cuts it back across the 35 out to about the 32-yard line. So it'll be a pickup of 6 for Frankie Galindo, 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, that was Kyler Reeves who reached up and grabbed him by the shirt and kind of took him over, tumbled him to stop him.
No, 2nd down and 4 for the Wildcats. As even though another turnover into the books, Artesia winning that one in a big way. Twins make that trips to the right, single receiver to the left. Fake the handoff, though the wide receiver screen. It'll be complete to Kahn. He's across the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. Going to be very close to the 1st down. And he needed 4, he gets 5, and it will be an Artesia 1st down.
And they just keep rolling. It's been a very, very bitter pill to swallow for these Lovington Wildcats today.
Yes, it has.
It is hard. This is really where character comes out. It's so hard to continue to play at your best. Try to give it everything you've got under these circumstances, but they've got to come up with it.
3 receivers right, single receiver to the left. Casares with all day long. Now he'll just tuck it, take it himself. He is across the 20 to the 19 where he's met by Kyler Reeves, who will toss him down. It'll be an 8-yard gain for Casares, 2nd down and 2.
2nd and 3 now for the Bulldogs.
And they'll spot him at the 20, so make it 2nd down and 3. The Bulldogs can punch it in. It will become running clock, and things will get very, very quick at that point.
Yeah, running clock in football. I think, to me, running clock in football goes faster than anything else. It feels even faster than basketball, I guess, because because it's a bigger area, and it just feels like it's faster.
Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Artesia in the Lovington red zone on 2nd down and 3. Lovington shows blitz. They'll hand it to Galindo. Starts it to the left, comes back right, gets through the tackle, crosses inside the 10, gets a block, and down to the 9-yard line. Pickup of 11 from Galindo, and it'll be 1st and goal for Artesia.
Stopping Artesia on the ground and through the air today has been very, very tough for them. They were doing an admirable job, of it in that first quarter. But keep in mind that they were in offensive mode for most of that first, or at least most of that first quarter. Nine
and a half
almost,
minutes.
Yeah, almost 10 minutes of it.
Yeah, 9.5 minutes exactly.
Yeah. So it's been playing defense against this Artesia team.
1st and goal from the 8 for the Bulldogs. Low snap handled by Casares. Looks left, throws left, and throws behind his intended target over there, who was Trent Egland. So it'll be incomplete. And so that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal from the 8, or rather 2nd and goal from the 8. And Casares has just misfired on 2 passes. He's 8 of 10 for 82 yards with a touchdown. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 8 for the Bulldogs. 8:54 remaining. Clock stops on the incompletion. Put 3 receivers right side, but bunch them in tight. Casares going to roll to the right, tuck it, take it himself. He's across the 5, leaps forward inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line, 5 yards for Casares. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 3.
And Lovington trying to get him down, pulling at his feet, trying for Shoelay's tackle. Didn't work. He got out of it and lunged forward for another several yards.
So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 3. Goal line stand time for the Wildcats. And looks like they'll run their own version of the Wildcat here. Snap to Galindo, takes it right, cuts it in, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So Frankie Galindo takes it 3 yards to the house, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game. And that will make this a 44-7 game, and it is running clock time now for the Bulldogs.
And it looks like they will try to kick the point after.
Yeah, I've got to think they would here.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, there's no reason to go for 2 here.
Yeah, they do the whole swinging gate thing every time. Yeah. So with 8:09 remaining here in the 3rd. Waiting on the snap, and snap is good, hold is good. Lovington almost gets to it. Kick goes up and squeaks through the left upright good. 8:09 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Artesia 45, Lovington 7. We're back in 1 minute. This is Wildcat football on KZOR. Artesia takes an onside kick and will punch it in as the ball will go rolling out of bounds. So Lovington will take it 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. I'm TJ Miracle, Don Morgan patrolling field side here at Mac Chase Field at the Bulldog Bowl. Manny V in studio engineering and producing. Abigail Schau shadowing and running our camera today. And pleased to have you with us wherever you happen to be. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, and it will be running clock as soon as they get the ball set.
No, you're good.
So now we are into running clock time with the Bulldogs being up by more than 35 over our Wildcats. So the time will move extremely quickly. Clock only stops for timeouts, changes of possession, and the change of the quarter. As, yeah, they were trying to spot it on the far hash mark. I actually think if it goes out of bounds, they should spot it right in the middle, but they'll move it to the near hash mark. Okay. This is just helping Artesia run more time off the clock. So Lovington in the huddle. Gonna just keep fighting, try and play for some pride here. Something I know they have no problems with. And now they're gonna move Cam Ochoa over onto the left shoulder. And it'll be a pass and almost picked off as tossing it up there was Dallas Cardenas trying to get Patrick Sanchez. So incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
And I noticed in warm-ups when they came back out, the team came out after from the locker room, that those guys they all warmed up passing. Cardenas, Gutierrez, Ochoa. I mean, they all took turns, because you never know. You never know when you're going to be called on to throw that.
And it will be Cardenas to take the snap as Rivero going to come and split out wide to the left side. Cardenas with it, high snap. He'll just take it himself right up the middle. Had a little hole, but it got closed. He gets up to the 40-yard line. He's met by Rafael Orozco. And it's a pickup of 5.
And 21, Hayden Harcrow was in on that stop too low. Again, Artesia practicing good tackling technique on these stops.
So now it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats from their own 40-yard line. Clock continues to move. So now a 3rd down and 5. If you're Lovington, you want to keep possession for as long as you can. And perfect world, get the touchdown. So Lovington will put 2 receivers to the right side, single receiver to the left, tight end in the ball game. Good snap, keeping it himself. Cardenas, not a lot of room to run there. He's hit at the line, but pushes forward and is going to wind up with about 3 yards on the play. First contact made by Grant Johnson. So it'll be 4th down and 2 for the Wildcats.
So
I think you got to punt it away here, yeah.
And they Reeves comes off, and 29, Chase Terrell goes in.
And the Wildcats will come out in an offensive formation.
Yeah, they look like they're going for it. Cardenas and Ochoa on the other side.
So 4th down and 2, yep. Snap will come to Cardenas, and he comes left side to have some room. He's across the 45 to the 50 to the 40, puts his shoulders down and down to the Artesia 35-yard line. That's 15. That is 15. That's 25, 23 yards for Cardenas, and move the chains. 1st down, Wildcats.
Nice. Again, you just got to keep playing. Got to play the game, play each down, play each play. Just get the most out of it.
Cardenas, 10 carries, 60 yards.
That's when you say, we're not quitting. We're not quitting.
We're not done yet. So twins to the left, single receiver to the right. Cardenas awaits the snap. Dallas with it, back to pass. Throws near side, and that one is going to be picked off as dropped as jumping that route, just waiting on it, was Charlie Campbell. Fortunately incomplete, and Campbell, you could see him just looking as Cardenas just basically zeroed in on Gutierrez on the near side, and Campbell just had to wait for it to come out and then break it up. Cats dodge a bullet there. It'll be 2nd and 10.
They do. Rivera looked like Rivera was right where he needed to be, but again, Artesia defense all over the play.
Yeah, well, and when you stare down your receiver, that's a good way to get it picked. So, of course, we got to remember Cardenas is not the normal quarterback. Hand off to Ochoa right side, and Cam's going to lose a yard on the play. So Aguilar on the stop, and it'll be 3rd down and 11 now. 3:20 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 26 seconds left on the play clock. So now for the Wildcats, a 3rd down and call it 12.
Got Gutierrez coming in from the sideline.
So going to bring in the play from the sideline. Trips to the left side, twins to the right. Now they'll move Cardenas over to the right side. Gutierrez will be the quarterback this time. So Jaden waits on it, high snap, and he'll just have to take it himself up the middle. And he crosses the 35 down to the 33-yard line. 4-yard gain for Gutierrez, and that'll be 4th down and 8 now for the Wildcats.
4th down, Wildcats.
And
so the Cats have gone for it every time they've had it 4th down, except for the one punt a little while ago.
Reeves comes off, and Chase Terrell goes back in.
And they'll split Terrell out wide to the right side. Rivera will be wide to the left. 2 slot men in the ball game. Gutierrez make that Sanchez back to pass. Throws it across the middle. Has Gutierrez.
Nice,
from
complete.
Sanchez near 1st down, but I think he's going to be just a little bit short.
Yeah, he got stopped by number 23, who is Miguel Soto.
So gets it to Gutierrez for 7 yards, but it's short, and so it'll go over on downs to Artesia.
Just by a yard or less. That was a nice throw. It was a good play.
Yes, it was. So the Bulldogs will take over on their own 26-yard line. 1st down and 10. 90 seconds remaining in the 3rd. We are in running clock situation here.
Right. So Lovington's hopes of maybe getting into the end zone on that possession over, but at least you pinned them way back. They're taking it over without being in really great field position.
And it looks like we will have a new quarterback in the ball game. Good snap, option pitch coming to the near side. As that's Pata. He's got some room. He's across the 30, 35, and bumped out at around the 40-yard line. They're going to give him to the 42. So let's see, that'd be 14, 16 yards. So 16 yards to Bryce Parra, his third carry of the ball game, 10th first down for Artesia.
Only about 45 seconds left in this third quarter now.
Artesia will have to run one more play, and they'll put twins to the left, twins to the right. Good snap, waiting on it. Quarterback back to pass. Comes back, goes left side, going down, and that one will be incomplete.
Almost picked up by Ochoa.
As the quarterback in the game now is Derek Warren. So incomplete, and that will probably put an end to this third quarter, and it will, as Artesia is calling their dogs over to the sideline. So we have played 3 here in the 5A quarterfinals from Artesia. The Bulldogs 45, our Wildcats 7. Fourth quarter in 1 minute here on Z94 KZOR. Welcome back to Artesia. Start of the fourth quarter. The Bulldogs in command of this one, 45-7 over the Wildcats, as it'll be Warren in the ball game, still the quarterback for Artesia. Twins to the left, twins to the right. He'll hand it off, and room to run and out near the 50-yard line, but a big tackle there. Getting up is going to be Pata once again, as he's going to pick up 8 on the play. And so that'll break up a 3rd down and 3 now for Artesia. Just underway, of course, running clock time. The Bulldogs going to have, I guess we could say, called off the dogs and put in the second string now. But they still want to get their experience through as much as they can. And, whoa, flags fly. There's movement everywhere. Not sure who got.
I don't know who was
and
first.
They're going to say false start on Artesia. And that can happen a lot of times when you've got new quarterback in the game, new rhythm, new cadence. Second penalty on Artesia in the ball game for just 15 yards. Lovington only flagged once for 5 yards in the ball game. So been a very clean game. So that'll move them backwards, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 now, from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8.
So one of the things we talked about at halftime is really how quiet this game has been as far as penalties.
Yes, it has been. Twins to the left, twins to the right. Back to pass, Warren throws it, and that one will be almost picked off. As how in the world was Aiden Nunez not able to hang on to that football? Coulda, woulda, shoulda. So it'll be incomplete, and it'll be 4th down, and I've got to think punt time for the Bulldogs with 10.5 minutes to go in the game.
Still, he was in a good place. He was where he was supposed to be, doing what he was supposed to be doing. I know he's as disappointed as anybody to not be able to hang on to that ball. So
he had a lot of green in front of him, too, if he could have held on to it.
Sure.
So it'll be punt time for the Bulldogs. Back deep to receive is going to be Gutierrez. High snap. It's brought down by Warren, and he'll get that one away as Gutierrez tells him, get away from it, get away from it. Takes a Bulldog bounce, and it'll be stopped at the 11-yard line. So Lovington with a long way to go and a short time to get there. Not to quote the late, great Jerry Reed there, but they got a long way to go and a short time to get there to get this out of running clock. 9:40 remaining in the ball game. 45-7 in favor of Artesia.
Yeah, and I think just about every ball that's been kicked has taken Artesia bounces, and
some days it just doesn't go your way.
That's right.
What is it? Mary Chapin Carpenter said, some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug.
It's been a bug day.
Unfortunately, we've been the bug day.
Splattered all over the place. That's right. But in their fighting, they're playing, and that's all. Again, we've mentioned that's what you got to do. You got to keep playing.
It certainly is. Cardenas will take the snap. Gutierrez in the backfield with him.
And everybody play hard, not just feel like it's one or two players still with the heart in there.
Dallas keeps it himself, and he'll go up to the 14-yard, make that the 15-yard line. Be a pickup of, call it 4 for the Wildcats, call it 3 officially. So 2nd down and 7 with 8:45 remaining here in the ball game. So the Cats going to keep fighting, keep trying to do what they can. So now it'll be Sanchez in to take the snap. Patrick with it, 3-step drop, looks left, throws left, slides it in. Did it get to Rivero? And did he catch it? Yes, he did.
Yeah,
so it'll be 8 yards to Rivero, and that ought to move the chains. 1st down Wildcats.
It was a good job for him to stay upright, to still be able to scoop it before he hit the turf. That was a nice job by both Sanchez and Rivero.
So that'll move him out to the 22-yard line. 1st down and 10. That is the 9th first down of the ball game for Lovington.
And should give them a little confidence moving forward here in this.
Sanchez with it, looks to the left, throws to the left, completed to Terrell out at the 30-yard line, and he is decked immediately out there by Ontiveros.
Yeah, 56.
Oh, was that 56?
Yeah,
okay, that's Marco Soto.
Jr., yeah.
So it'll be a pickup of about 8 once again, so back-to-back 8-yard passes.
Very nice. Terrell really, he had good defensive coverage on him, and he had to really reach up and fight for that. Bring it down, fight for it, keep it.
62 yards through the air for Wildcat quarterbacks. Twins left, twins to the right. Ochoa waits on it, comes to the left side, and is hit in the backfield and ripped down.
Wow.
That was Axel Hartley. And nowhere to go there for Cam Ochoa. Hartley went up high, but it was clean.
And Hartley has had a good game. He was in on one of those blocking the ball that turned into an Artesia score against Lovington.
And so loss of 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Wildcats. So we click down to the halfway mark of this 4th quarter. So it looks like it will be Sanchez back in to take the snap here. With twins left, twins right. Man in motion from the left to the right. That's Rivero. Sanchez with it and just kind of short arms it towards Rivero. Incomplete. And so that'll bring up a 4th down and 5. I've got to think punt time again for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and that time that he threw down a little too much, and there was no way that Rivero could save that, pick that up, and run with it, keep it. So, yep, punt time.
But running with a Hydra-like quarterback, just anybody who I think feels can take the snap doing it. They did manage a 1st down on that drive, a couple of completed passes.
Yes, he kept it alive.
Yeah,
kept possession for a while.
Good kick that time, and that'll take a Lovington bounce. It'll be picked up by Hartley. Back at the 38, takes it across the 40, 45 to the 50, inside Lovington territory, across the 45 to the 41-yard line. That was Charlie Campbell, with a good return, and over to Artesia with 5:40 remaining in the game.
Yeah, Cardenas got to him first, and then Juarez came and cleaned him up.
So they're going to spot him at the 43-yard line inside Lovington territory, as Warren will bring the play in from the sideline. Play clock down to 19, not that it really matters. Artesia just going to take their time. So they're going to put 3 receivers to the left side, single receiver up to the right. Pata in the backfield with Warren. Warren waits on the snap. Good snap and throws it, and knocked away by Sanchez. Ball is bouncing around on the field. They call incomplete pass.
Nice work by Sanchez there.
Yes, it was.
Lovington's offense really got a good jump on that. Yeah, they were all moving forward, and
the defense timed it out pretty well there.
Doing very well.
So incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Artesia. So very close to delay a game. I hear our colleagues down for the Artesia radio going, how did we not get a delay a game there?
Yeah, about 4:20 now on the clock, left to go.
As Warren waits on the snap. Good snap this time. Back to pass, and he thought there was going to be a problem, and he will be sacked as coming through Patrick Sanchez and Gabriel Mal.
Nice little Wildcat sandwich they had him.
Yes, it was, and he's going to lose, let's call it 5 yards on the play. So first sack of the afternoon for the Wildcats, and it'll be 3rd down and 14 officially for Artesia. Artesia in control of this one, 45-7. While we've got a moment, big thanks to all those sponsors that you're hearing on KZOR, and you see there at the bottom of your screen. Couldn't do it without them. Be sure you thank them for making Wildcat sports possible. And doing business with them would be much appreciated. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Warren rolling to the near side, looks downfield, fires, has a man, complete across the 40 to the 39-yard line. It'll be an 8-yard gain as he comes 8 yards to the near side to Fuentes.
And I thought it was either 20 or 30, but it. Yeah, I thought it was Caleb, but.
Let's go, D.
And so that'll be complete.
And of course now clock ticking down, just under 3 minutes left to play.
Absolutely. So on a 4th down and 6, Artesia looks like they are going to go for it. Well, no, they're going to bring the punting unit out with 2:45 remaining. So Artesia going to be victorious, and they will move on to next week as a whistle sounds timeout Artesia's. They were having all kinds of trouble getting folks out on the field where they needed to be. 2:39 remaining in the ball game. Artesia 45, Lovington 7. Wildcat football is back in 30 seconds here on KZOR Hobbs Lovington. Out of the Artesia timeout, it'll be 4th down for the Bulldogs as they're actually going to come on to attempt an extremely long field goal attempt, as that one is going to come up well short as they try. That would have been about a 53-yarder. So it'll be Lovington football as they will take it over after the long field goal is no good. Not so sure about that call, but I mean, he got it down there probably about 47, 48 yards.
Yeah,
It's got enough leg.
Yeah,
but
and I guess in that instance, you don't have anything to lose, so why not, let him go for, I don't know that would have been a record by any means, but let him go for a long
I think the national high school record is 64. It's either 64 or 66 yards.
That's crazy.
And it was actually owned by a kicker at Permian High School in Odessa from the 60s.
Wow, that's interesting.
And the pitch to the near side, Cardenas on the throwback. And Ochoa goes over, gets it at the 10, and then brings it out and gets it back out to the line of scrimmage. So a lot of running for not a lot of anything there on the long pitch back. And so it'll be out of bounds, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 for the Wildcats. Well, they give him no gain, so 2nd and 10 for the Cats. We are a minute and 10 seconds remaining in the ball game. The Bulldogs will be moving on into the 4A semis, a chance to defend their title, or rather the 5A semis. We'll talk more about that in the postgame show. Sanchez will hand it off, and Cam with some room. He's across the 30, gets away from one to the 40, to the 50, to the 40 on Artesia territory, and finally punched out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Nice going. I mean, that's guts too. You know what he did? Again, he could have run out of bounds. What'd he do? He ran. He put his helmet into the other guys. Ran into him.
14 carries, 82 yards for Cameron Ochoa. And that'll be the 10th first down for the Wildcats. Only 30 seconds remaining in the game, though. After that, you should have thought about taking the time out just to preserve a little more time on the clock.
Basically 20 seconds now.
Yep, so Sanchez is the quarterback. Hand it off. Nope, keeps it himself. Coming to the near side, and nope, nowhere to go as Patrick will get it back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about it. And that will do it. Our final score here today, Artesia 45, Lovington 7. Artesia will move on into the 5A semifinals next week. Lovington's season will come to an end at 8-4. But a lot to be proud of for the Wildcats. We'll be back with your post-game report and our final Bob Thriftway Coaches Conversation of the Year. Wildcat football in the post-game show continues and is back in just a moment on KZOR. And welcome back to Lovington Wildcat playoff football here on Z94 KZOR as the Cats go down to the Bulldogs 45-7. The final in this one to end their first season back in the ranks of Class 5A. With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle. Manny V in studio, engineering and producing. And you know, Dawn, I think I'm not going to go over and do all the X's and O's while we wait on Coach Bailey for our Bob Thriftway Coaches Conversation. But I am going to say this, and feel free to chime in anytime. When we started this journey 4 months ago or 3 months ago, when we found out to about almost a year ago now that Lovington would be moving back up to Class 5A, I think if you would have said, hey, oh, by the way, and Coach Gonzalez is leaving, so we're moving to 5A, Coach Gonzalez is leaving, we're going to be in the district with Artesia, Roswell High, Roswell Goddard, Deming, and Santa Teresa and Mayfield. I think if you'd have told us that, we would have said, oh, my goodness. And actually, privately, I don't mind saying it, we did kind of say, oh, my goodness. But at the end of the day, Coach Bailey came out and he got these kids up and he got them believing, and a winning record with not only a first year but a first-time head coach moving up in classification. I think that this, even though it hurts right now, moving up, being in the meat grinder district, in a bigger district than you're used to, I think this can be considered to be an excellent season, even though it ends short of where they ultimately want to go.
Yeah, I would second that, completely.
And so,
excuse me, I caught, I was just back there blowing my nose a minute ago. I just caught something, opened my mouth and a fly ran in or something. No, I just caught something that made me cough there for a minute, but absolutely, I'm listening to you.
Well, and I think too, when you finish up the season, I mean, you're 8-4. There is nothing, rather 7-5 now. You're going to finish up the season at that, and I think we would have been happy, and I can't speak for anybody else in the Lovington camp. When you looked at our schedule, when you looked at having to move up and to do these things, I think if we would have said, hey, by the way, we're going to be, probably 7-4, 7-5 on the season. Would you take that?
Sure.
I think you'd say, yeah, because you could do the math, and that would say, hey, we made it to the playoffs.
That's right.
And that means we did a lot of good things. At one point in time, this team was the number one team in the state. We cannot lose sight of that.
Right.
They beat the team. One of their victories this season was the team that is playing right now about 40 miles from here at the Wool Bowl in Roswell that is the number one team in the state.
Amazing.
Lovington knocked them off in a pretty convincing fashion.
They did.
They had some, things during the season that didn't go their way, and they kind of lost their way a little bit. I mean, and every team is going to go through struggles, and it's how you bounce back from those struggles that I think says a lot about this team. Quickly, the seniors on this squad, hats off to them. They have given us a lot of memories since graders back when we were 4A.
They've had amazing careers in their high school football play. It's hats off to those those seniors.
A couple of 4A state championships and other things. And hats off to both Coach Bailey and this coaching staff. And they came into a tough situation. You're you're moving up in class to 5A. Again, no excuses. Hey, we're in the 5A quarterfinals. I think that says something. You're replacing a coach who's won 3 state championships. I still count the bowl game as a state championship.
Yep.
And so you're coming in and you lost a lot of talent last year. You certainly had a lot of talent this year. But I think really, even though it hurts right now and it's disappointing, the Wildcats can really look back on this when they get a minute and say, we exceeded all expectations that anybody except maybe in-house they had about themselves.
You bet. They can be proud of what they accomplished. You bet. I'm sorry. I'm still suffering from having swallow dog there. Yeah, of all the times. I do get choked up sometimes. This was a time I really didn't get tearful or choked up. I just kind of swallowed funny. And so, yes, I agree with everything. I think that there's so much to be proud of and happy about for this season. It never ends. I mean, everything ends badly. Otherwise it wouldn't end, right? So they're not going to be happy with ultimately with the way this ended for now. But yes, when they think about it later, when you look at it later, when you look at this team as a whole from a player's perspective, a coach's perspective, there's just an awful lot. They were on an uphill battle from the very beginning. I think the thing for them is that they just blazed out to such a fast start, and that increased all of those opened up all of those possibilities when they weren't really maybe expecting it. That they were within reach, and when that happened, and then they got slowed down middle of the season, but they came back strong again, 6-4 at the end of the regular season, a winning season. They went into the playoffs, won their first playoff game. They ended up here, and they just lost to a team. If I had my bet, I would bet that this is going to come down to Roswell Artesia.
I would, a rematch of last year, and Roswell winning the regular season just like they did last year. Artesia wants to win the postseason as the huddle breaks up down in the south end zone. Dawn Morgan, we'll have our Bob's Thriftway coaches conversation, our final one of the season with head coach Josh Bailey, and we appreciate him all season long taking time to do that, even at times when maybe he hadn't really wanted to, but we
he's-
appreciate him doing that.
He's going to take a minute and talk again with Matt Prudencio on his shoulder, and talk with some of the seniors and some of the players as well, and have a more of a private discussion here.
Right, and I think that's appropriate. A lot of seniors on this squad: Dallas Cardenas, Ryan Weiser, Ramiro Gonzalez, Alec Olguin, Patrick Sanchez, Landon Trevino, Matthew Prudencio, of course, Bronx Areola, also a senior going on down the list, Cam Ochoa, and Julius Arroyo. Moving on to the next page, Jose Juarez, Bishop Sawyer, Valente Herrera. All of these guys going to be missed. All these seniors going to be missed. Lakota Meyer, Gabriel Maldonado, Damian Munoz, all seniors, and so those are going to be some big shoes to fill next season. But that's what about high school. You've got to occasionally reload, rebuild, and reload.
Yeah, and of course, this is an emotional game and time for these seniors and for head coach Bailey. It's his first season as a head coach, even though he knows these players and this team inside out from having been an assistant coach, for years. He knows the team, he knows the players, but it's different when the buck stops at your desk. When you're the head guy, you're the guy, you're the man, and he has said before, he knows this is what he signed up for, the hard stuff as well as the good stuff. And it's been a good season. If I were looking at this, without any, just from the outside, without experience and knowing everybody, I would look at this and absolutely look at this as a good first season as a coach. Did you want to go all the way? Did you end up, playing for the championship game? No, but what you did accomplish is amazing and remarkable, and nobody can take that away from this team, from these players, and from these coaches and this coaching staff and head coach Bailey. Here he comes.
And our Bob Surthwaite coaches conversation.
Hey, it's all right. Thank you for the time you can give us. We've been talking about how it's an emotional game and time for especially the seniors and for you in your first year as head coach. And just tell us what you're feeling right now at the end of this game, and what did you tell your team in the huddle?
Well, I told them that it's impossible for me to not have a grateful heart still. It didn't fall our way. All those injuries, that kind of stuff's tough. I mean, it's so tough, and you can ask why and all that. And we came out of the gate and we did a good job. And I think we were going to give them a game. Oh, yeah. But you know what? It happens. And what this senior group and what this team gave us, and again, I can't be ungrateful for what happened. I'm not ungrateful. I love them. I'm proud of them. I don't mean this just because they're like my first senior class. That group is so special. They lead so well. They do things the right way. And they set a great example for the classes to come up and follow.
Absolutely. We're just talking about the transition. We're always looking forward, right? We try to enjoy the minute and spend the time where we are here. But again, you look at the legacy that these players leave, that these seniors leave, and they have set the bar high. But they've also shown the rest of the team, the juniors, the sophomores, the other players coming up. They've shown them the way.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly right. I think that you can lead, you can have a leadership position, and we've seen some of those in the past and not do it the right way. And I challenge them in a different way to just be fearless and unselfish every single day. And I was hard on them. Man, I was hard on them. And they responded. They answered that call. And, couldn't be more proud of them.
Special team, special season. Congratulations, a winning season. I mean, so many things. It's disappointing now. It's hard to deal with now. But to look back and see what you accomplished, see what this team did, and just in this season, but certainly the players, who the seniors and then the older players who have been through the state championships and the bowl games and the wins. But this season was it was a good one, and it's one to be proud of looking back. It's disappointing right now, but but congratulations. There's so much to really be proud of.
Thank you. Again, I'm so proud of the whole senior class. But really, what some of the things you said, if you look at just the career and the legacy of the Cameron Ochoas and Valente Herrera's, Alec Olguins, Dallas Cardenas, guys that have been contributing since their freshman year, just phenomenal careers, truly. And then some of these guys didn't really get their chance until this year, with Matt and Pat the last couple years, and I should name them all, and I shouldn't. But this year too, Bronx Ariola, Landon Trevino, Gabriel Maldonado, Julius Arroyo coming back and helping us. And I really feel bad now because I hope I don't leave anybody out. But I'm so proud of them. David Munoz last couple years, Sawyer Bishop last 2 years. But some of those guys, man, their careers are just the longevity and stuff of their careers is pretty phenomenal stuff.
Absolutely, guys like Chase Terrell and standing up.
Chase is a young one, so we still get him back.
He's one of those that's already learning, and we're looking forward to what some of these other players will achieve, coming up in this next season and seasons to come. And we're happy for you for the season that you did bring out and these players, and we say congratulations. And any final thoughts or words about the season, the team, or anything that you want people to know about right now, at this point, people who are maybe grieving, the fact that we lost to Artesia and the season's over?
Just be proud of these guys. You see them around town. They put in a lot of work. And like I said, I challenged them in a unique way, and they responded, and they're going to be great people because of it. And so just love them because look at them. They're having a harder time than you are at home, I promise. And we're gonna deal with it, and then we're gonna have to respond and move on. So.
Respond and move on. And that's character, that's growth, that's life. And that's what sports helps teach us and prepare us for is life. Ultimately, that's what you're doing, is looking beyond a game that's on the sports field and looking into hearts and character and the future.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why you never name names real quick, Dawn.
Sure.
Ryan Weiser. Love Ryan Weiser too.
Oh,
and I don't know if I forgot any others, but I can't leave out Ryan Weiser too. So I just love all these kids.
Tough.
But yeah, I hope that what I did, another thing I told them was, if you're a senior, when I'm telling you to respond, you might be thinking, well, how I'm done, but not in life, not in life. And then if you're a young kid, respond. Just respond. Let's not feel like this again. So that's the goal.
All right. Thank you so much. You've been gracious all season, your first year stepping into it, coming up, never missed a halftime visit with us, never missed an after-game visit with us, and that's graciousness, and we appreciate that. That's a great example to set as well. And thank you for your staff. I know that you've got great assistants, and they've helped you and the team get to where you are here and moving forward with everybody. And certainly we want to say we hope Matt Prudencio going out injured in this game. Hopefully, I think that was his right knee problem. So we want to say any of the ones who are injured, quick recovery so they can move on to play other sports or continue their year, especially seniors, and move on.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you mentioned the staff. They did a great job this year. I'm really proud of them. Couldn't have done any of this without them. Not even close. We wouldn't. I was stressing about that for a little while before we hired guys and got them on, and just really proud of those guys.
And, of course, the boosters, you've got great support at the school, the staff and the boosters administration. So it takes a village, as they say. Got to have leaders in those at key positions, but it takes everybody. So thank you very much for your time, your graciousness, and thanks for a great season. And we'll see you next year, right?
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much for y'all's coverage. Appreciate y'all.
It's our pleasure. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, ma'am.
Good night.
All right, Dawn Morgan with Coach Bailey, our Bob Swiftway coaches conversation, as we put a wrap on this one, and not the result that the Wildcats wanted, but still an awful lot to be proud of this season. For the entire crew at Walmart Broadcasting, from Aaron and the sales staff to everybody back in studio, engineering and producing, keeping an eye and an ear on things, Manny V and Tiff and Evie Stuber, couldn't do it without them. Of course, also our shadows and Braden Cooper, everybody who's helped us this season. Well, it's time to get ready for basketball, and we will have select games. Just keep an eye on the Facebook page and keep listening to the Z94 KZOR. We'll keep you in the know as we get ready for basketball to start soon. Football over too soon, but, well, that's the way it just happens sometimes. So for my partner in crime, Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle, wrapping up the football season from here in Artesia. This has been an exclusive presentation of Walmart Broadcasting and Z94 KZOR Sports. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend.